to tonight's ball game between the Montague Wildcats and the visiting Mason County Central Spartans. Tonight we're having Parents' Night, and with that, Coach Jim Tate is on the floor right now, ready to introduce the parents and the participants. And I'll turn it over to Coach Tate on the floor. We have Sharman Stein, escorted by Joe Stein. We have Jennifer Suits, escorted by her sister, Katrina Saunders. Carrie Hunt, escorted by her mother, Mrs. Richard Hunt. Jody Scudder, escorted by mother, Connie Scudder. Senior cheerleader Julie Calabro, escorted by Ken and Sue Van Bergen. And senior cheerleader Tina Hagner, escorted by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dennis Hagner. And that's the varsity cheerleading squad for the 1989-90 school year. And we have Jim Tate's wife, Maria, escorted by her mother. And now the varsity basketball squad, we have Greg Pointer, escorted by Paula Pointer, his mother. Ryan Anglem, a junior, escorted by his mother and father, Garrett and Lana Anglem. Sophomore guard, Scott Lindquist, escorted by his mother and father, Charlene and Larry Lindquist. Jake Olson, a senior, escorted by his father and mother, Richard and Michelle Olson. Eric Webb, a junior, escorted by Mary and Brian Webb, mother and father of Eric. Kevin Bushberger, a senior, escorted by his parents, Roger and June Bushberger. Doug Schlaff, escorted by Ray and Claire Schlaff. Matt Anderson, escorted by Don and Lorna Anderson. Mark Schneider, escorted by his parents, Raleigh and Andrea Schneider. Rob Smith, escorted by his parents, Lynn Wisniewski and Steve Smith. Number 50, exchange student Sebastian Summer, escorted by Hato and Ina Pahekadi. And the last varsity basketball player to be announced, Matt Cotter, number 54, escorted by Lynn and Dave Cotter. There they are, folks, the 1989-90 Montague Wildcats cheerleaders and varsity basketball squad. As the good crowd here tonight gives them a very nice standing applause. And we'll have the singing of the national anthem now by senior Rob Smith and freshman Stephanie Haney. Once again, national anthem sung by students of Montague High School. Freshman Stephanie Haney and senior number 44 on the basketball team, Rob Smith. And with that, we're about ready for the starting lineups. Again, we welcome you all to tonight's action. It should be a good one as the Wildcats go against the visitors from Mason County Central. And although the Mason County Central Spartans don't have the record to speak up, they certainly are a team to be reckoned with, as the Wildcats found out the first time as they traveled north to the home of the Spartans and came out with a very hard-earned victory against those same Spartans. Tonight's action, again, you're going to see some good up and down the floor action, a lot of pressing, and I just look for a very good ball game throughout the contest. And coming up here now with me into the booth is my co-host and Larry Lindquist. And again, I'm Jeff Peterson with you tonight for tonight's action. Larry, glad to have you back up here.
Well, thank you, Jeff. I'm glad to be here. Quite an exciting time down on the court. I've never been introduced, I don't think, in front of a basketball crowd before.
Well, you did a nice job. It was pretty hard walking out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was, and it was even harder rushing back up here, up through the crowd. But I'm here now, and I'm looking forward to an exciting contest. I don't know exactly what you've talked about thus far, but we know the Spartans are quite a team. They gave us a real tussle up at Scottville. We were tied going into the fourth quarter there, I believe. And so Coach Jack Shriver, I'm sure, is looking for that fourth quarter to be a little different tonight.
Well, Larry, we got a little late on the thing, as we thought the introductions, everything would be done at the buzzer, and it turned out to be 5 minutes before the buzzer, so we really didn't get to talk about a lot of things. And I think what the Wildcats have done here tonight is just an excellent tribute to parents and to the kids that take part in this program, and the time and effort that all those individuals put in certainly makes this program as successful as it is.
Well, that's certainly true. There are a lot of parents who spend a lot of time on the road between home and school, bringing those athletes back and forth between practice and home, of course, oftentimes just in time to go off to another activity. So we appreciate the support the parents have given to our program, not only this year, but in the years past as well. And of course, the student athletes are what makes the world go around as far as the basketball team on the court is concerned. And we have a fine group of athletes representing Montague High School this year. One sophomore, several seniors, and several juniors and a couple of seniors, and they're all fine young men, Jeff.
Well, that says a little bit about school, and it says a lot about the home life. And again, it's those parents that really make the things happen here, and the support we get. And again, as I look down here, we just got a super crowd here tonight, and throughout, every year that I've been here, we've always had good followings by our fans and just excellent support. So it's just great to see that we get that kind of recognition back to the parents.
Indeed it is. Well, Jeff, the Spartans come into the contest, I think, with 4-13 record overall for the season. But, when you play the Spartans, you better be ready to play.
Well, they've got one of the best coaches, I think, in the West Michigan area, and Jack Shriver. And Jack's been to the, I believe, as far as the state semis one time. He's been to the quarters a couple times. He just does an excellent job. And every time you get a chance to go against him, you're going to see something different. He's always thinking about how he can beat you, and he's not afraid to change things up to give his team the best advantage that he can. And the Spartans are going to be very quick out in front, and they got some big kids inside to match up against us. And they got a kid by the name of Glamsey, who I like, always seems to be where the ball is, and gets a lot of those garbage points, but I don't care how you get them. They count as 2 on the scoreboard, and that's all that really does count.
Well, that's Jeff Glamsey about what you're talking, and he follows in the footsteps of another Glamsey, Steve, I believe it was.
I believe that is right.
Both of them are very smooth players, and Coach Shriver has a lot of talent on his club. And he has mostly juniors, I believe, this year, but some of those juniors were sophomores on the varsity last year, so gained a lot of floor time, a lot of experience. I get a chance to talk to Coach Shriver occasionally, of course, because both his son and mine play college ball for Alma College, so we see each other on Saturdays. Probably yesterday, as this is on the air Sunday night, we will have seen each other. And I know this season's been rather frustrating for Jack, and especially since the fact that he's been in most of the contests right down to the wire, or at least throughout the first 2.5 quarters or 3 quarters. So he's looking forward to coming down here and changing that, I'm sure.
Well, as time expires, we're ready to get announcements for starting lineups. The one thing that I think that he's looking forward to is getting some real good play the last 3 games heading into tournaments, especially since that tournament's going to be right at their place.
Absolutely, a home court advantage to the Spartans for March Madness.
Well, they'd certainly like to pull off that upset if they could.
We're going to go to the floor now for the starting lineups. First for the Spartans, starting at guard, number 4. Well, I guess he's Ryan Dumas, 5'6", 11th grader. The other guard, number 14, Jeff Patterson, 5'7", senior. Jeff Glamsey, we mentioned a while ago, number 22, 6'2", junior. At the other forward, Craig Shriver, son of Jack Shriver, the coach, number 40, 6'3", senior. And at center, number 54, Brian Anderson, a 6'5" junior. So the Spartans come out with a lot of height advantage early on here. Goes to the coach, Mr. Jack Shriver. Starting for the Wildcats, one guard, number 20, Scott Lindquist, sophomore, 6'0", 135 pounds. Eric Webb, feeling better tonight, starting again, number 30, 5'10", junior, 165 pounds. Starting at one forward, Doug Schlaff, number 34, junior, 6'4" and 165 pounds. Mark Schneider at the other forward, number 42, 6'1" junior, 155 pounds. And senior Rob Smith, number 44, 6'3", 190. Well, Jeff, the Wildcats are going to have to make up in quickness and speed, agility, the lack of height advantage here. But we've seen them do that often this year. Of course, that's been a real crowd pleaser and a real plus for the Cats all year long.
Well, whereas the Spartans have not played well together throughout the season, and Coach Shriver has really worked with a lot of different groups on that floor as starting units, the Wildcats are pretty much stuck with one throughout and played very consistently throughout. At times, they played like a young ball team, but they've always been able to come back and hang together, and that's been the reason for their fine showing, and again, the reason for the Spartans' kind of iffy showing at this particular point.
Well, the opening tip is up, and I think they're going to throw it up again as neither the Spartan Craig Shriver nor Doug Schlaff could control the tip. So we're going to try her again. And this time the Spartans do come up with it in the person of Jeff Patterson, number 14. So the Spartans get the first shot at the basket tonight. There's Patterson down left to Shriver in the paint now, number 22. That's Glamsey. Doug Schlaff comes away with the ball. No good is Smith, and the Spartans come back up the floor. Spartans looking to set it up inside. Glamsey back outside is the look. Good defense on the part of the Spartans, or excuse me, the Wildcats. Held the Spartans at bay there. Dumas over to Patterson, cut through to Shriver. Nice ball maneuvering that time by the Spartans. Rebound and basket by number 54, Brian Anderson, 6'5" junior. And the Spartans draw first blood, 2-0 with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Well, the Wildcats had pretty good position, but they were too far underneath that basket.
Lindquist misses the three-pointer from outside, and Patterson has the ball. Over to Glamsey on the right. Guarded by Mark Schneider, up for the shot. Good. And the Wildcats find themselves down by 4. Jeff, that's not been an unfamiliar position for them to be in this year.
No, they're a smart enough ball team that and again, as you said, they've been in there enough times in that situation that they're not going to panic.
Lindquist looking inside, back out to Eric Webb, back to Lindquist once again. Right baseline, back outside, inside to Doug Schlaff, off the rim, nice rebound position and shot by Rob Smith, getting the first basket for the Wildcats. Spartans fast break. Glamsley over the top of the basket. Rob Smith with the rebound. Down court it goes to Eric Webb. Left side. Up. Basket is good, and it will be counted. Makes it a 4-4 ball game. Beautiful move by Eric inside. Nice assist to Rob Smith.
Well, they got the ball out nice and clean to the side, brought it up, and Rob looked the floor over real nice, got that ball over to Eric, and Eric made a nice move to duck under and put that ball up and get the two. Now with the chance of three to put the Wildcats ahead.
And he misses that when he's averaging a little under 60% for the season from the charity stripe, but Eric's making eight points a game for us, and that's been a big help to us many times, of course. Shriver back out front. Dumas setting the play up. Back to Shriver. Man-to-man defense, as all season long by the Wildcats. Patterson looking inside. Nothing there as Anderson cuts through the paint.
Well, the Spartans aren't moving, just stand around. And of course, I don't know if our fans could hear it, but Coach Shriver was trying to get his troops to start moving.
Anderson missed the shot, and the rebound comes away to the Wildcats. Doug Schlaff having a little trouble at the top of the key, but now controls. Off to the left it goes to Eric Webb. Now the Cats will set up once more. And the Spartans are in the 2-3 defense against the Wildcats. And ever since we had a little trouble with that, Jeff, that's a good shot on the part of Schlaff. Ever since we had a little trouble with that, Jeff, the opponents have been using the 2-3 defense against us.
Well, and that's a defense that Coach Shriver's used many, many times in the past, very successfully. And, you know, if that's what it takes, again, as we said earlier, Jack Shriver's going to be one to find that out.
That's for sure. Bushberger coming in to replace Lindquist. Schlaff shooting about 71% from the line and hits that one. Spartans coming back up. Shriver on the left, can't get it to go. Doug Schlaff, who had 15 rebounds in the last contest, Jeff, comes away with another. That's at least his third tonight already. Schlaff inside now to Bushberger, back out to Schlaff. The 17-foot jumper is good.
And a nice assist from Kevin Bushberger on that.
Nice assist to Kevin. Shriver can't handle it out of bounds. It goes to the Wildcats. Scores 9-4 Montague with 4:42 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, that's the kind of play that Coach Shriver's seen all year long. Just kind of a lackadaisical reach down to get that ball and then go off your foot. And that's the difference between our Wildcats and the Spartans.
Ryan Anglem into the contest for the Wildcats as Eric Webb brings the ball back up against Dumas. Anglem inside now it is to Rob Smith. Nice turnaround by Rob Smith. An assist to Anglem that time. Shriver on the left for the Spartans. Good is Shriver. 11-6 is the score. 4:18 remaining in the first.
A nice assist to Dumas on that.
Bushberger driving right baseline, looking back out now. Throws it over the top to Eric Webb, back to Anglem from the top of the key area, falls short. I think the ball was tipped by Glamsley, Jeff.
Well, I think he took a little bit too long to set up and got some hand on that ball as he shot it. And again, there's a throwaway, and again, unforced throwaway. There was no reason for that. Just get the ball up and nothing's there, go ahead and run something.
That was Patterson that threw it over the top of Glamsley, and if you're a Wildcat fan, it's a good thing because Glamsley was open all the way to the basket. Lindquist back in for Webb now, has the ball outside and inside to Rob Smith, turn around, good! Robbie's got the feel again tonight, Jeff. He had an excellent game last Tuesday, and another tonight on the way so far.
Well, then that setup that they had one of their small men inside in that 2-3 zone, and boy, they should be able to go inside all night long on that if Coach Shriver stays in that. And Scott Lindquist picked it up real quick.
Outside is Glamsley, looking around. Patterson driving left. Nothing there. Nice defense on the part of the Wildcats.
Nice steal by Rob Smith.
Anglem back out to Lindquist now. Lindquist driving to the center. Over to Anglem on the right baseline area, back outside. Cats moving around the perimeter. Inside it goes again to Rob Smith. That time it's a nice attempt for a save there on the part of Schlaff, but it comes away to Patterson. Craig
Well,
Shriver inside to Glamsey.
That the defense and offensive flow of the Wildcats, I think, tonight so far has been excellent. They've been helping out, not letting them go down the middle for the most part, looking inside, moving that ball around, and that's exactly what I'm sure Coach Tate wants to see.
5-point lead for the Wildcats, 13-8. 2:22 remaining in the first quarter. Bushberger driving the paint. Nice change of direction by Bushberger. Beautiful basket. Beautiful basket. 15-8, a 7-point difference now for the Wildcats. Bushberger against Patterson, and now it's, there's Patterson driving, and it's good. It's going to be a good basket. And
I
the
think
foul
that's
is called
Dumas,
on.
isn't it, number 10?
That's right, it is. I was mixed up on the two guards for Scottville.
Well,
Lindquist drew the foul.
as our fans probably can see, those numbers on their backs are pretty hard to differentiate at times. They kind of blend right into that white background.
Especially when you've got the bifocals on like me. 15-10 Wildcats with Dumas on the line. Good. 15-11 now at 2:01 in the first quarter. Eric Webb bringing the ball up. Driving left into the corner, inside to Schlaff. Schlaff can't handle it this time. It's off Schlaff, and it goes away to the Spartans. Well, again, Lindquist looked inside, and Schlaff was open. It just didn't work that time. Dumas coming down for the Spartans. Mason County Central being a little frustrated here in the first quarter, but they've hung right in there, Jeff, too, even through their frustration. Nice, smooth move by Glamsey. Glamsey with the 2.
Well, we talked about him earlier. He already has 6 points, 6 of the 13, and again, works real well around that basket.
15-13, 2-point difference now. There's Schlaff with the ball, driving to the paint. Up, good, Schlaff. 15-foot jump shot is right on for Schlaff, 17-13.
Now Doug looks nice and strong going up for those shots, and that's what you like to see.
Inside, and the basket is no good, and Webb comes away with the rebound. Offensive foul is going to be the call against Schlaff that time. No basket. No basket is a call by the official. It's the first personal on Doug Schlaff.
Well,
Second foul.
even with that, Larry, I'd rather see Doug go in and get a few of those and be aggressive towards the basket. He has had a tendency not to do that, so that's an all right call. I'd rather see Doug do that. I'm sure Coach Tate and Coach Schlaff sitting on the bench would just as soon see that too. Of course, they'd just soon not have the offensive foul, but
right.
I think they'll take that.
We've got a substitution for Scottville now. Bielikowski is in the game. Short on the shot. Bushberger with a nice strong rebound. And that was Mike Weinert who missed the shot. Matt Cotter with the rebound into the contest. And Cotter, when he's in the game, Jeff, does an excellent job with position. Has a nice touch on the shots he takes, and there's a final example of a nice rebound by Cotter.
You just don't realize how many things Matt Cotter does for you until you look at the final stats, and you see all kinds of contributions.
Webb to the right-hand side. Schneider looking back outside. And we're going to have a foul called on Kevin Bushberger, I believe, as the pass went from Schneider over the top. And both Kevin Bushberger and Patterson were fighting for the ball and deflected it away, but foul is going to be called on Bushberger.
Well, usually you'll see that foul, I think, go the other way, but I think because Kevin came in from the back side, that's why the foul went against him. Usually the team that has the ball is going to get that call.
17-13 with 16 seconds in the first quarter. Nice inside pass to the paint. Basket no good by Weinert. Rebound to the Wildcats. Schneider pulls up, looks inside, is blocked and taken away. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. No good at the buzzer. And that was number 30, Bielikowski, taking the last shot of the quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is Montague 17 and Scottville 13. Well, Jeff, a 4-point difference for the Cats, and you can see why the Spartans have been in most contests. They played a good first quarter against the Wildcats.
Well, again, they play sporadically, and what Coach Shriver is certainly going to be talking to them about right now, and also hoping, as we said, as the season goes on, towards its finality and starting that new season tournaments is just want more consistency. And if you get that, the Spartans can hang right with the Wildcats right to the end. And of course, Coach Tate, I think, has done an excellent job with his Wildcats, of course, all through the season. But tonight, as I said earlier, I think they're just playing excellent defense, contesting everything. They're, for the most part, shutting off all the avenues on the cuts. And they're also they're rebounding better. And on the offensive end, you got a good flow of motion. They're not standing around as they have been and not just making one pass and shooting. We're getting 2 and 3, 4, 5 passes until we finally find that open man.
Nice movement around the perimeter several times tonight. You're right. Well, the second quarter is set to begin. Ball goes into Ryan Anglum, who's looking back to Webb, who has the ball now. Webb against Dumas. Dumas, the junior, who was a quick front guard for the Spartans. Anglum drives toward the paint, brings it back out. Bushberger, right side drive, short, and no blue under the basket that time. Glamsey with the rebound. Drive left is Dumas. Back to the top now. That's Bielikowski. Inside it goes to Weinert. Nothing there, and Rob Smith made an excellent choice that time, Jeff. Instead of trying to grab it, he stood and blocked it out.
That's right. Just established his position is all he did, and Weinert got a little bit confused and lost the ball.
Ryan Anglum comes back to meet the ball. 17-13 still the score with 7:20 in the first half, that is. And there we're going to have the personal on Dumas.
That's one thing, Larry, excuse me, but I think that's one thing that we can really do all night long. We can exploit Dumas. He's very quick, but he's also right up on top of you all the time. And if we will just push the ball at him, I think we can get him in trouble. And I think he has something to do with making that Spartan offense run and that Spartan defense run. So we want him out of there if we can help it.
Ryan Anglum now looking inside. Lindquist on the top. Anglum back over the other side, looking left. I think Doug's going to be called for the walk. I think he just lost a little grasp on the ball and took that extra little hop as he's getting set, Jeff.
Right, and it cost him dearly because he knocked that basket down and we're not going to get it. So 17-13, Spartans can come back and get within 2.
Bielikowski from three-point range. Good.
Let's make that 1.
Yeah. Bielikowski with a three-pointer makes it a 17-16 contest. Pass is intended for Lindquist, but knocked out of bounds by Jason Bielikowski, who's come to life here in the last 30 seconds. Bielikowski has had a lot of floor time for the Spartans too. 5'7", a good guy to go along with Dumas and Patterson. He's playing forward right now, but he's really a quick person in there. Glamsey with the rebound off a Lindquist shot. The ball goes off the Wildcats and is picked up by Schlaff. Webb to set it up for the Wildcats over the top to Lindquist. Lindquist looking inside. Drives right now. The pass is intended for Schlaff inside, and it goes out of bounds eventually as it was knocked off from number 40 there.
Well, I guess that was only just. From my perspective, it looked like it went off the Wildcats, but before that, I think Doug got fouled and it wasn't called. So, nice pass.
Nice assist to Smith, and a basket by Anglum. Bielikowski inside to Weinert. Weinert turning around, facing the basket, looking
That's
for the
where
back
we want
door.
Weinert also, Larry. Want him out at the top. We don't want him inside.
Right. And there's Glamsey being fouled from the backside by Ryan Anglum. Jeff Glamsey moves pretty well without the ball, Jeff, normally speaking.
As I said, he's always near that ball, and he seems to get a lot of garbage points around that basket, but he can also move without the ball, and he can move. He's a good dribbler, and he can handle that ball if he has to take it to the basket.
19-16 Wildcats. There's Glamsey once again, over the top this time. Rob Smith comes down with a rebound. Rob had 10 rebounds last Tuesday night, and he's had several here already this evening. Loses the ball, however, and there's Shriver again. Shriver's been the high point man for the Spartans several times this season. Hasn't been a big offensive factor here yet tonight, as they seem to be looking more to Glamsey this evening. Shriver with the ball. There's Glamsey from the free throw line. Good. You can't leave Glamsey alone, Jeff.
No, you just can't.
Glamsey has 8 points already. 1 point difference, 19-18, favor of the Cats, 5:10 remaining in the first half. Lindquist looking into Schlaff. Back out to Anglem, over to Webb. Nice movement of the ball that time. Over the top. And the Cats having a little trouble finding the hoop this quarter. Lindquist taps it back to Anglem. Anglem can't make it happen either. And finally, Weinert comes down with the ball. Weinert. Glamsey, right baseline. That's Dumas, got it by Lindquist. Patterson by Eric Webb. Weinert looking for the back door, nothing there as Anglem watches Glamsey go through. Weinert now with the ball, got it by Schlaff, up short. And Ryan Anglem has the rebound. Anglem with the rebound. Lindquist comes up short, and the Spartans come back with the ball. Dumas, good is Dumas. 20-19, the first time the Wildcats have trailed tonight. 20-19 with 4:10 remaining in the first half. Eric Webb driving left, baseline area, left side, inside to Schlaff. Beautiful pass from Eric Webb to Doug Schlaff, and he's fouled on the play.
Well, those are the ones Doug's got to make. That was a three-point play there, and I think very makeable, but I think maybe Doug was thinking about getting fouled and not concentrating on that basket, and it cost him.
I think you're right. That's the second personal on Patterson. It's the fifth team foul, so this would be a two-shot foul anyway, but the Wildcats, and the Spartans for that matter, are going to be in one in bonus from now on this half. Schlaff up and good. Nice, even, smooth motion by Doug Schlaff, the Wildcat. We said before is about 71% from the line. 2 in a row for Schlaff. It's actually 3 in a row for Schlaff as he made his first attempt as well. So it puts the Wildcats back in the lead by 1. Ball was forced inside that time by Bielikowski, and the Wildcats pick it off. Buschberger driving through traffic. Schneider inside to Lindquist. Lindquist off the glass, can't make it roll. Lindquist tips it away to Rob Smith. And the foul is going to be called on Rob Smith, I believe, an offensive charge as he tried to move toward the basket. That's his first foul. He's going to get arrested. Matt Cotter comes back into the contest.
Well, right now the Wildcats aren't being as patient, I don't think, Larry, and not only that, but they're having little problems in the shooting. They just can't find a touch right now.
Number 34 from the outside, good for the Spartans, puts him back up by 1, and that's Dave Rabine. Dave Rabine in the contest for the second time tonight. Buschberger to the left. Schneider, fouled by Glamsey. I guess I'm not sure.
I think it was Rabine pushing on Doug Schlaff from behind.
Yep, you're right. Was away from the ball. 34's Dave Rabine is just saying it's his first personal, so Schlaff will go back to the line again.
You know, Doug Schlaff had excellent position inside, and Rabine was trying to fight through it, and he had that hand on the back, which is going to cost him. And, of course, the Wildcats get a chance to go back up now as Doug's shooting.
Webb coming in for Lindquist. 3:14 remaining, 22-21. Favor the Spartans. Good example of team balance throughout the league, Jeff. Schlaff makes the first one. It's 4 in a row for Schlaff tonight from the charity stripe. And another one. 11 points for Doug Schlaff so far this evening. 3:10 remaining in the first half. Left-hand side, Bielikowski from three-point range. And Schneider comes away with the rebound. Buschberger can't handle the ball along the right-hand side, and ball goes out of bounds to the Spartans. Bielikowski looking to put it in play. Spartans come back with Weinert and number 40, Shriver. You know, Jeff, we said that the Spartans' hold a height advantage, but it really hasn't hampered the Wildcats. They've had good board position and have had a lot of rebounds so far tonight. And now they have another steal.
Well, again, I think the Wildcats are getting better position tonight than they have in the past few games, and that's really helping them out.
Bushberger from the far left, no good. And away come the Spartans. Shriver taking the rebound down, Green in control. Drive left, Dumas looking inside. It goes out of bounds off from Weinert is the call. I think Weinert thought it might have been pushed out of bounds by the Wildcats' Cotter, but the referee thought differently. 220.
Well, Weinert really isn't getting down in the position to get that ball. He's kind of standing straight up, so it's easy to knock the ball away. And from what I remember, the young man doesn't have the best hands, so just that makes it that much easier.
Inside the Cotter, back out. Mark Schneider across into the paint. Bushberger with that nice little jump shot.
Nice assist from Mark Schneider as he watched that open up and got him the ball. Now the Cats have a 3-point lead, Larry, 25-22.
And the play is stopped on the floor with the score 25-22, as you say, and the Spartans are going to take the timeout. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left in the first half, but Coach Shriver thinking that this is a good time before his Spartans get down by any more to take a little timeout and pump his kids up, decides to talk to them. So,
well, it was a good timeout probably for both teams, as they both were a little bit sporadic at this point in the game, and Wildcats seeming to come back a little bit, but you know, the Wildcats certainly would like to put some distance between themselves and the Spartans by halftime. As we talked about on Tuesday night when we played the Norse, we certainly don't want to get a team such as the Spartans high hopes as they enter the second half to be able to hang on and possibly towards the end still be right there with a chance to win. You want to put them away early, and then you want to make sure that they stay there. So far, the Wildcats have not been able to do that.
Play resumes here with Dumas taking it up court. Glamsey looking inside. There's Shriver inside. Wanted the ball badly that time, and that's why right there, as Shriver gets his second basket of the night. 25-24, as the Cats can't move away.
Well, I'm sure you're going to see the Spartans go to Shriver as many times as they can inside after he showed that little move right there.
Dumas with the personal, that's his second, as Eric Webb took advantage, just a little bit of space down that paint area. Right down the center he went and was fouled by Dumas.
You know, Larry, we've always talked about how quick our Cats backcourt is, but last few games, the Wildcats have been paired up with some awful good quickness. If you go back as far as the Oak Ridge game, and then you had Shelby, and Tuesday night, of course, we saw some excellent display of basketball by the young and old, you might say, of North Muskegon, a senior and a freshman in the backcourt. And now tonight we're seeing the Spartans with a lot of quickness. So excellent competition for our backcourt men.
Webb sinks two. But, Jeff, you remember last year, if you can think that far back into the Wildcat basketball history, we mentioned at that time how the quickness of the sophomores in the league was going to be a big factor this year, and certainly it has proved that way throughout the league.
It certainly has.
Ball knocked out of bounds, and the Spartans will put it back into play. Nice hustle that time by the Cats. Jim Tate rotating 7-8 players in and out, keeping everybody fresh. Mielikowski over to the right side. Patterson, excuse me. There's Glamsey. Little fake left. Drops it off in the corner to Patterson. There's Weinert underneath. Weinert 2. 27-26 Wildcats.
Well, you can see what Jack Shriver's told his ball players. His strategy is to get that ball inside. Pound it inside. And we're going to either get him in trouble or we're going to knock it down from in there.
Rob Smith with a turnaround from Lindquist, and he's going to be fouled by Shriver, I believe. So Rob Smith will find himself at the line for the first time tonight. 2 shots coming, I believe. Yes, 2 shots was the call. That was Shriver's first foul.
Well, knock on wood, Larry, but so far the Spartans haven't shot from the foul line, I don't believe, tonight. And the Wildcats have really helped their cause from the charity stripe so far. I believe if we were to check, you'd find that the Spartans have actually outscored the Wildcats from the floor. But the Wildcats are still up by 3 because of that charity stripe.
Well, the Wildcats right tonight are shooting 90% from the line. That was the 10th one, and they've made 9. And that compares with about 69% on the year. Turnaround is good by Glamsey against Schlaff. Schlaff gets the personal. That's his second, I believe, Jeff. Nice move by Glamsey that time, and like you said, it's obvious they're looking to go inside. Glamsey has some real smooth moves, and that was no exception.
Well,
dropped that one.
He's
in.
at the line right now looking for his 11th point, 11th of 28, so he's doing exactly as we said earlier in the broadcast. I take it back, Larry. This is their second foul shot.
And it's good.
They have 2 3-point plays coming on foul shots.
Tie game with 43 seconds left in the first half. Webb down the paint, no good. Seam was there, but he couldn't get it to drop. 29 all as the Spartans come back, hoping to take the lead again. And they can't quite do it as the ball goes in and out. Shriver with a nice touch, just didn't get the drop that time.
Well, that was one of those that was in and then out, and then you wondered whether it was going to fall back in again.
That's right.
But it just wasn't to be.
Bielikowski from outside. It's his third three-point attempt of the evening, I believe, at least, and he's missed all 3 thus far. I think the Wildcats are going to be called for the foul underneath on the rebound attempt.
Well, I think I probably should have kept quiet when I said that with 50-some seconds to go that the Wildcats hadn't put the Spartans at the line.
It's Ryan Anglim's second personal. Shriver at the line. Good. 5 points for Shriver, puts them ahead by 1. 30-29 with 25 seconds left. Little too hard on that one, and it hits the top of the backboard, I believe, and the official blows the play dead.
I suspect that the Wildcats will go for 1 shot now with 25 seconds to go.
Okay, Jim Tate, Coach Tate, hollering out the play. Eric Webb driving right. Lindquist looking to the right now, going inside, driving the baseline. Back out to Eric Webb, off the glass, no good, and we have a foul as Eric Webb goes up for the shot. So the Wildcats will get a chance to tie here with 5 seconds remaining.
And that's Craig Shriver's second foul as he stepped up underneath Eric as he was in the air, drew that foul, and with that, Eric, if he can knock them both down, has a chance to put the Wildcats up by 1 as we close out the first half of play.
Eric Webb falls short on the first one. We'll get one more attempt to draw us even. And he does. A little more arch on that one, gets it to go. Bielikowski behind the back, 3-point effort from far outside, off the back of the rim. That one almost dropped, Jeff, but it didn't, and the score at the halfway point in the contest is knotted up at 30 all. Fans will be right back after this word from our commercial sponsors. Listen, when we played up there, I don't remember what the score was, but I know it was tied at the end of 3, and the same thing is happening here tonight.
Play 3 to start over is what it amounts to, and
that's exactly right.
It's all even, and this is the one that counts.
As I mentioned earlier, talking to Coach Shriver on Saturdays, this is where the frustration is set in for the Spartans throughout most of the season. One time not long ago, they got a technical and a couple of turnovers, and that was all she wrote. So I'm hoping, I'm sure that he's hoping, that is, that the fourth quarter is more kind to them this evening. Inside, basket is no good. Rebound attempt comes away to Rob Smith. Eric Webb coming down court, driving the paint. He's going to be charged for the offensive foul this time.
Well, there's a case where Eric, again, should have just stopped, pulled up. It was 1-on-2, and he tried to split it, but he ran right into the man drawing the foul.
Bielikowski. Patterson inside the paint, up, way short. Glamsey saves it for the Spartans. Back outside to Bielikowski. Glamsey once again. Inside, Weinert, turnaround, no good. Foul is going to be called on Lindquist, his second, I believe. Second personal of the night.
And with
Two-point attempt coming up here or two-shot attempt, that is, for Weinert.
And of course, that's going to put them with a chance to go to the lead.
7:26 in the final quarter. Good on the first. And the second. 47-45. Cats trail by 2. Cats have had trouble hanging on to the lead all night long. Whenever they've had it, it's not been a big lead, and they've been challenged. Lindquist from the right baseline, no good. Rob Smith, excellent rebound inside. Nice, strong position that time, and referee calls the personal against Weinert, number 44.
And of course, I don't believe that's going to be a shooting foul because Spartans have not got to the limit yet, and that was on the rebound, not the shot. No, I guess I'm mistaken.
I think they're going to give it to him on the shot, so Rob will be at the line for 2.
I believe that this is a mistake. I don't believe this should be 1-1.
It isn't. You're right. No, it isn't, Jeff. If you look over, the visitors have the 5.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Rob gets the 1 in bonus, and
I was looking at the wrong side.
right. The Wildcats have but 3 personals this half, so they have a couple to give you before they put the Spartans on the line. Rob Smith with one more effort now. He's perfect so far from the line tonight, and continues that way. Rob Smith, an 80% shooter at the line, I'm sure by now, just over 79 coming into the contest. Lindquist hustling against Bielikowski. Bielikowski over to the left side. Inside it goes. Turnaround shot, in and out, no good. Rob Smith, a nice strong rebound. Eric Webb down the right corner to Lindquist.
Now the Cats have a chance to go ahead.
Short. Going to give it to Montague underneath as Glamsey and Rob Smith both stood there, and it looked like it was going to be Montague's ball, and it is.
Excellent position by Rob Smith again for that ball. Glamsey, again, just that smart basketball sense that he has, reach his hand and knock the ball away.
Eric Webb inside to Smith. Up, no good, but he draws the personal once again. Now that's an inbounds play that they've used all year long, Jeff, with a great deal of success.
It's amazing to me, Larry, as teams have got to see that and they scout, and they don't seem to defense it very well at all. Time after time, we've got open shots, and that's another example.
Score is tied as Rob Smith steps to the line. 47 all right now. Now it's 48-47 Wildcats. We're not keeping this stat up here, Jeff, but it'd be interesting to see how many times the lead has changed hands tonight.
Well, it's certainly gone back and forth all night long. Teams got out to about a 4-point lead, is about as far as it's got, and but it's seesawed back and forth all night long.
Bielikowski into the paint, up, no good. Shriver with a nice strong rebound in the basket. 9 points for Craig Shriver. 49 all. This time Scott Lindquist brings the ball up court against Bielikowski. No, that's Patterson in now. Back to Lindquist. 6:19 remaining. Mark Schneider, Lindquist, perimeter passing. Doug Schlaff. Ball pass is intended for Rob Smith, but Rob, I don't think, expected the pass, and it was a little off the mark.
Well, I think Doug thought that Rob was going to go to the block on his side, and I think it was just going the other way. Rob was going to go to the other block.
Ryan Anglin comes up with a nice steal for the Cats. Anglin playing a nice game tonight as usual. Bushberger with the ball, bringing it up court now. Schneider back on top to Ryan Anglin. Schneider. Cats got to get set up here now, and they're waiting for a minute and now do so. Schneider from the three-point area. Looking inside, still nothing there. Rob Smith from the left baseline up. No good, but the foul is going to be called on Glamsey. Jeff Glamsey with his second personal.
Well, that was kind of a cheap foul, Larry, but a foul's a foul. And he did get him on the elbow. Your good defensive players, Larry, that's exactly what they'll do. They'll go up and try to hit the people on the elbow or maybe on the bottom of the wrist, and in order to cause that man not to be able to shoot, and that's exactly what Glamsey did, although the referees caught him this time.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a timeout for this message from our commercial sponsors. We'll be right back. Roger Finland, so you're on, Roger. Take it away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. From the floor of Montague High School, I have two parents with me tonight that are going to be honored on Parents' Night, Roger and June Bushberger. June, I'd categorize you as probably a Wildcat super fan. You're new to our community only a couple years ago, but what do you think of our basketball program and of being at the ball games?
Oh, it's great. This is one of the best places to be on a Friday night.
Well, you know, I can tell you're being honored tonight because you have a sweater and a shirt on rather than your blue and white. What's the story behind that?
Well, I just saw it one day in a store, and I thought that's my sweater for the ball games, and I wear it every night.
Well, I know that everybody knows when June Bushberger's in the crowd that shirt's going to be on. Roger, the two of you guys, along with your kids, and Kevin is the one that's going to be playing tonight, of course, come from Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the only thing that is important is the Green Bay Packers. But to you, Roger, where do the Wildcats compare with the Packers?
Well, I'd rather watch the Wildcats any day.
Well, I would too, because I was always a Detroit Lion fan. But I just want you guys to know that your support of our basketball program and your kids that you've sent through here have been wonderful. We're glad to have you with us.
We're glad to be here.
Well, enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you. We will.
You bet.
Well, Jeff, here we are back. Knotted up 49 all. Just 5 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the contest. Spartans looking to upset the conference leaders. Along with Whitehall, of course, the Wildcats are tied for the conference lead.
Well, this is a big game for the Wildcats. They can't look ahead at all. Of course, they've got a very important game down at Ravenna next Friday night, but this is the game that counts. Without this one, there might not be a conference championship.
Rob Smith puts the Cats back up by one, 50-49. Wildcats scoring 69 points a game are 19 points away with only 5 minutes remaining. Good again is Rob Smith from the line. That's 10 points from the line for Rob Smith tonight. Excellent, excellent work by Rob Smith. You mentioned we travel to Ravenna next Friday night, Jeff. Right now, across the river, as we're broadcasting here, the Vikings are entertaining the Ravenna Bulldogs there. As Eric Webb comes back up.
That's what Eric has to do right there. Just stop, go up, draws that foul, had a chance for the three, but he's going to give the Wildcats a chance to go up by 4 here at least.
Bielikowski with the personal, I believe. That's his third. Eric Webb with a nice pull-up that time, as you mentioned, will be at the line. 51-49 Wildcats.
And the other end of the court, I believe it was Ryan Anglin that got his hand in there to cause that turnover and allowed the Wildcats to get the ball, come up the floor, and to put Eric at the line.
Webb, a little off the mark on the first one, has one more attempt coming.
Eric's had his troubles tonight so far, but can get this one down and give the Wildcats a 3-point lead. And it won't go either.
So we cling to a 2-point margin. Glamsey, leading scorer for the Spartans. And we're going to have a foul called on Anglin, I think, as Shriver went up for the shot. So we go to the other end, to the other line.
Well, and again, we see exactly what Coach Shriver's going to try to do, push that ball inside to his big men. And, of course, as you talked about at the beginning, they've got a little height advantage. What we've got to do is deny that pass to begin with. Can't let those men come across and be in the lead. They got to be trailing.
Greg Shriver a little too hard on the first as he pushes it off the back of the rim. Third personal on Ryan Anglin, by the way. Rob Smith going to get a rest as Matt Cotter comes in to replace him. Coach Tate looking to give Rob Smith a little rest and knows he's going to have some good board strength and offensive threat in there with Matt Cotter. Shriver good on the second attempt. Draws the Spartans within one, 51-50. Wildcats have held their opponents to about 59 points a game against their 69, and there's two more for Eric Webb. Nice turnaround that time by Webb.
A nice spin move by Eric again as he got by him.
We're going to have a foul this time called on
Matt Cotter. Evidently Matt reached in from behind as Dumas started to go by, and we now have Dumas at the line, as now the Spartans are also in 1-1 for the remainder of the game. Last 4:44.
$53-50. But no more as Dumas makes the first, bringing the Spartans within two. Lindquist coming back into the game for Montague, replacing Bushberger. Eric Webb has had quite a game tonight, Jeff. He's had 5 baskets from the floor, 4 free throws, 14 points on the night thus far. Excellent showing by Eric, as always.
Well, and he's had some dazzling moves out there as well.
Absolutely. When you have Eric on the floor, you know things are apt to happen, both offensively and defensively. Nice perimeter movement over to Schlaff, off the glass. Nice basket by Doug Schlaff.
Spartans don't want to let Doug have an open shot like that.
13 points for Doug Schlaff as he puts us up by 3, 55-52. Driving the full length of the court is Dumas off the side of the basket, and there's Cotter down with the rebound. Matt Cotter showing good position and strength that time. We're going to have a foul called on number 30, Bielikowski.
Well, referee Jim Helgum is starting to call him mighty tight right now, and certainly at this point is helping the Cats.
Well, I think that's a sign he doesn't want the game to get out of hand in the last few minutes here, of course. But he's calling him tight both ways. Lindquist's going to be at the line for the Wildcats.
That certainly is a good sign. Bilhowski now has 4.
Lindquist 65% from on the season from the line. Good on that one. Good on the second.
And I believe that's about the largest lead any team's had tonight, Larry. A 5-point lead at this point.
I think you're right, at least in the second half. Probably all night long, I think you're right. Patterson over to Bielhowski, down to the left side. Dumas was left alone, and that's not Dumas though, Jeff.
I think that's Patterson. No, that's Ted Hatch.
Ted Hatch just into the contest. Gets his first 2. Now the Wildcats are in the 4-corner offense now as the Spartans are being forced to put a little more pressure on outside. Still really in the, now they come out in the man-to-man, Jeff.
Well, that's exactly what the Wildcats wanted them to do.
Schlaff dribbling to the center now. Dropping it underneath to Rob Smith. Beautiful play that time. That's exactly what the Cats wanted to happen.
Excellent ball movement. Good decision by Doug.
That's just like you diagram it on the board.
That's for sure.
59-54 Cats. Weinert inside. Looking back outside. Now we've got a timeout. Scottville, and I think that might be their 4th timeout, Jeff, with exactly 3 minutes remaining in the contest. And fans, we're going to be right back after another on-the-court interview with Roger Finland, and we really don't know who he's going to have for you, folks, so we'll just say Roger Finland and mystery guest. Here we go,
I'm sure
Roger.
It's going to be good.
Two more parents here with me tonight on Parents Night, Raleigh and Andrea Schneider, parents of Mark Schneider, longtime Montague fans and supporters of the athletic program. You probably heard on some of our other broadcasts their older daughter, Gretchen Schneider, who's done some broadcasting with us. But just another good set of parents with another nice son. How does it feel to be honored tonight, Raleigh, on Parents' Night? And what do you feel about the Montague athletic program, in particular the basketball program?
Well, I'm very proud to be a parent of an athlete here at Montague. He's learning more than what he would learn at home as far as sportsmanship and teamwork and camaraderie with the rest of the team. His interaction with the faculty has been really good. I'm really proud of Mark and the whole basketball team because of the way they do handle themselves both on and off the floor.
Well, that's good to hear because we're proud of the kids and the way they conduct themselves. Andrea, you're the one that has to do the late night meals when Mark comes home from practice and so forth. Do you mind that kind of activity, or are you glad that he's part of it?
I'm just glad to support him in whatever he does.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have a great son, and your daughter, of course, is, if I had to pick an all top 5 team of mine in the years that I've been in education, Gretchen would be one of those, and Mark is there too. Thanks for letting us have him here at school. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Rod.
It's Lynn Cotter and Dave Cotter. Their son, Matt Cotter, of course, a junior in our athletic program who's involved not only in basketball but in football and baseball as well. David, you used to come to a few games, now you come to them all. How does it feel to be a parent of an athlete, and what kinds of feelings go through you when you see your son go into the game on any given night?
Well, it's obviously very enjoyable to do that. I'm proud of what Matt's doing. I get the most pride out of watching the kids that he's played with all these years to form as a team on the varsity. It's something they've looked forward to all this time.
Well, as you say, you're one of the few guys that I know that I've talked to about our sports program that you know the players from the other team by name because you have followed them since they've been in the 7th grade, and I think that's great. Lynn, of course, you're not only a parent, but you teach here. What does the whole thing mean to you as a parent and as a teacher and athletics as far as the school program and so forth?
Well, I see the kids coming together. I think it's a very, very important part of their experience in high school. I see them form a camaraderie, develop a respect for one another and their different abilities. They recognize weaknesses in each other and strengths in each other, and they, rather than using that to the negative, they use that as the positive, and I think that's a real positive aspect of the athletics. It complements classroom behavior very well.
Well, I think, as a teacher, that's what we try to stress here, and we're really proud of it. And I want to tell the two of you publicly that, we're just happy to have kids like Matt be part of it because he's a class individual and adds a lot to the program by being there, and it's just nice to have kids like that. Thanks for being with me, and the final comment I can make is that's the long and the short of it from Montague High School tonight.
Well, Jeff, we have exactly 3 minutes. Cats up by 5, but that's not comfortable tonight.
No, it certainly isn't comfortable tonight. Even we're shaking a little bit up here.
You bet.
But again, as we said earlier, and we've said all season long, the Cats seem to need a challenge in order to get them spurred to really get going. And that's what they've had all night long. And here they are again when push comes to shove. They're on the shoving end.
That's
and
right.
We'll see again as the game progresses towards its final buzzer. But right now the momentum has changed, and the Cats seem to have things going their way. A good miss here, rebound, and come down and get a basket. It would certainly really put the crunch on the Spartans.
Lamsey looking inside to Weinert. Weinert driving left, and he's going to be called for traveling. Coach Jack Schreiber didn't care for that at all. I think. Well, he liked the call. I mean, he knew the call was right, but he wasn't too pleased with Weinert's move.
Well, sometimes Mike Weinert tries to do too much, and there's an example of that, and it costs the Spartans dearly.
Four-corner offense now again for the Wildcats. Schlaff with the ball. Schlaff driving toward the paint just like before. Brings it back out and through. Lindquist back to Schlaff. Schlaff
got to get rid of it. There's 5 seconds.
Does get rid of it. Lindquist up, no good. Mark Schneider with the rebound, no good. Follows
Get
his
it
own.
back out, get it back out.
Excellent.
There you go.
Well, the Cats came away unscathed. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left now. They've still got a 5-point lead. They escaped that time, Jeff, with with a little luck.
I'll tell you, and there was
Here.
2 big rebounds by Mark Schneider there, Larry, and a good decision on that second one to get it back out.
That time Patterson's going to be called for the personal, and he's going to be replaced immediately by Coach Shriver as number 34, Dave Rabine, comes back in for the Spartans. Eric Webb back at the Wildcat line, hoping to improve the percentage he had last time he was there, and he does. You could just tell when that left his hand, Jeff, that it had a better trajectory.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, the cream comes to the top when it counts, and here's an example of Eric, when it counts, knocking those free throws down. 2 big ones, and he gets both of them.
Good composure by junior Eric Webb. Dumas against Webb now. Patterson over to Rabine. Rabine back to Dumas. Patterson again with the ball. Inside to Rabine. Blocked that time by Schlaff and Lindquist. And we're going to have a foul, I think, on
Doug
maybe Mark
Schlaff, I
Schneider
believe.
or Doug
I think
Schlaff underneath.
Yes, Doug Schlaff.
Doug Schlaff. That's his third personal, I believe. Yes, it is his third. Eric Webb going out. Bushberger coming in. Weinert will be on the line. Weinert
2 for 2 so far, Larry.
2 for 2, and he has 8 points on tonight's scorecard. Has a chance to pull the Spartans back within 5. 54, excuse me, a minute and 50 seconds left. Good is Weinert on the first. 6-point difference. One more attempt coming for Weinert. Good on the second. Glamsey coming back in for the Spartans, replacing Weinert. 5 points again. They're holding on to the 5-point lead, but it's none too safe. Mark Schneider comes back to meet the ball on the inbounds pass. Man-to-man defense now continuing for the Spartans. Doug Schlaff ahead
Nice
to Bushberger.
movement by Doug.
Bushberger, wise choice now. Bring it back out. Minute 35 left. Taking some time off the clock. Over to Schlaff. Schlaff driving the paint. Jump ball is the call. Was that Glamsey? Jeff got the hand on the ball as he drove the paint?
I believe so, yes.
I think Glamsey got the hand on it, and then it was eventually tied up by Shriver. And it's going to be a Wildcat ball underneath their own basket. Minute 29 left. 61-56.
Well, the Wildcats got the luck of the possession there because Spartans certainly could have used that. And now the possession, if we get it again, goes to the Spartans, Larry.
Eric Webb taking the ball out of bounds. Inside it is again to Rob Smith. Jump ball is a call, and it's going to go to the Spartans.
There's that possession change on the jump ball. Now the Spartans get it. And a chance with a minute 27 to pull it within 3.
Dumas against Webb. Back on top to Bielikowski. Inside, Shriver, turnaround, good. Important basket by Shriver, pulls him within 3 with a minute and 12 seconds left. And the Spartans are going to make us go to the wire. Eric Webb picks up his dribble, looks across the timeline now to Lindquist. Lindquist calling timeout as Jim Tate hollered from the sidelines. Spartans are trailing by 3 here, but have turned the momentum in their favor. A while ago you mentioned that the Cats had a momentum, but that's certainly not true right at the moment.
Well, it's been back and forth that way all night long, Larry. Let's hope that the Cats can hang on for a minute 3 to close this thing out and put themselves in line for that next Friday night's ball game for the conference championship. Again, the Spartans are right where they want to be. Just as we talked about earlier in the ball game, they're at the end with a chance to tie or possibly a chance to win. And that's just nothing more than a bonnet or a feather in their bonnet, you might say, because you know they're not going to go any place in the league this year, and all they're trying to do is prepare for that tournament. And Coach Shriver's got them playing pretty good basketball.
Right, their league record, I don't remember if we mentioned or not, but it's 4-8 as of this minute or this second. But they have a chance with another minute and 3 seconds to improve that to their 5th victory of the season in the conference. Cast to put it in play. Rob Smith back to Webb. Minute left exactly now. Man-to-man defense, tight man-to-man. Schlaff
And the Wildcats have to be careful of the 5-second call, Larry.
Indeed they do. Schlaff off to Ryan Anglin, back out to Webb. Webb driving toward the paint is fouled. I think it's a 1-and-1 is the call, not an intentional foul, but 1-and-1. Webb going back to the line.
Spartans are playing it pretty smart, going for that steal, and if they don't get it, just making sure it's 1-and-1. Eric, of course, I think is the person that they certainly want to foul, as he's had some difficulties tonight, but again, the last time he went, he certainly knocked him down. A little bit short here.
Short there. Spartans save it nicely. That was Dave Rabine that time who came up strong for the Spartans. Outside, beautiful outside shot by Bielikowski, draws the Spartans even 61-all with 28 seconds remaining. Timeout, Wildcats. Well, Jeff, I think this is the hardest the Wildcats have been pressed, except in their losses during the entire season with only 27 seconds left. So it'll be interesting to see how they react under this pressure.
Well, they've got the ball. They should work for that last shot. They certainly don't want to give the Spartans a chance to get the ball back again. And I'm not so sure that the Spartans are going to let them do that. I'm sure that the Spartans might put them at the foul line
They may
where they've had some difficulty and hope they can get that ball back with maybe 15 seconds to go. Go for the steal. If you don't get it, then come back and see if you can't put something up on that basket.
I would, if I was Coach Tate, I think I'd consider at least having the ball in Schlaff's hands or Smith's hands as much as possible instead of Eric Webb. Although on that four corner, Eric is of course a target out there as a ball handler. But Schlaff and Smith obviously are much better tonight, at least from the line, than is Webb.
Of course, Scott Lindquist has also done a nice job at the line this year, and he's knocked 2 down tonight. He's perfect from the line. So those would be 3 players, I'm sure, that Coach Tate said that's the players we want the ball in the hand.
Eric Webb with the ball now. 20 seconds, 19. Webb. Back to Rob Smith. Lindquist. Lindquist at the top of the key. 11, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lindquist, low good. At the buzzer.
And it goes. It goes. They counted it. They counted it.
No. Jeff. They're saying it doesn't count.
The back official, I think, overruled the lead official.
I think we're going to have to just wait and see what they conclude. I remember seeing a game like this, Hope and Calvin on Channel 8 TV not long ago, and the officials conferred briefly and then made the ruling that the shot had not counted.
That's right.
61-all is still on the scoreboard. We'll just have to wait and see what happens here. They're conferring at the score table with the timekeeper, Mr. Ken Diamond, Art Keel there. And,
the outside official said it was in. The man underneath the basket called it no good. So they're going over to confer with the clock and see if the buzzer actually did go off. And it's going to be a 2-point basket.
Wildcats are going to win a close one here, Jeff, 63-61, as Doug Schlaff, perhaps with the most important field goal of his career, makes it a 2-point victory for the Wildcats, 63-61, in a somewhat, maybe not controversial, but at least a questionable call by some at the buzzer. Wildcats pull it out, 63-61.
That's a tough one for Coach Shriver. And, my heart goes out to he and his Spartans for the excellent basketball game that they played tonight. Certainly shouldn't have been any losers here tonight, but he had his Spartans prepared. They just did an excellent job. And, of course, we got the shot. We had the opportunity. We got a couple rebounds, and we knocked that one down, and just in the nick of time.
Jeff, that's got to be a heartbreaking loss, as they all are, of course, but especially this one for the Spartans. They just did an excellent job tonight. They kept the Wildcats at bay all night long. They just hustled on offense, were good on the rebounding. Everything you could say about the Spartans is positive tonight, except if you're a Spartan fan, the result is not positive.
Well, that's kind of the way their seasons has gone, Larry. Tough luck, one game to the next. And many seasons Jack Shriver's had, they've gone just the opposite. So I know inside he's really hurting, and I know that those kids are really hurting. But if they play that well on their home floor in that tournament, as we've talked about, they're going to be tough. They're going to be tough to beat.
Jeff, you're absolutely correct. And they even though I'm sure they're in the locker room with their heads hung low in the sense that they lost, they can certainly be proud of their effort tonight. No one else has given the Wildcats that much trouble, except the 2 losses, of course, at least not that close to the end of the game. And we know that they've done an excellent job. Well, Jeff, I think we're going to close it off up here, and we're going to go down on the floor and see if we can find somebody for an interview after this exciting contest. Fans, we'll be right back with an on-court interview.
Fans, well, as you can see, we're on the court after the exciting climax to tonight's contest between the visiting Mason County Central Spartans and the host Montague Wildcats. Standing next to me right now is Mr. Roger Finland, high school principal at Montague. And Roger, have you ever seen a more exciting contest, at least in its conclusion, than you did with that one?
Yes, I know that's not the answer you expected. The first school I ever taught in Gladstone in the UP lost one time in 4 overtimes in the regional final, but this one was close to it in excitement, believe me.
Oh, certainly probably among the most exciting you remember at Montague High School.
It is the most exciting since I've been here. I'm glad I didn't have to make the decision on the last shot. I really feel sorry for Scottville because they played well and hit the three-pointer with 30 seconds to go and stuck in there all night. When we had a 7-point lead with a couple minutes to go, I thought it was in the bag. In fact, I was warming up the fat lady to sing, but it just didn't happen that way.
It sure didn't, and of course the Spartans have to go home disappointed, but looking into March Madness, they seem to be pretty well prepared for the teams that might be facing them at their own court.
Well, Scottville, of course, has always been a real tough basketball school, and Jack Shriver does a great job, and their record is not indicative, I think, of the way they are capable of playing ball. Obviously, the home court advantage is going to be something in the district tournaments for them. I think everybody remembers last year when they didn't have a very good record, and we were lucky to escape with a victory in them in the districts that time.
Well, Roger, I know you're good friends with the superintendent of Mason County Central, Mr. Bob Redmond, and he was here tonight. Have you talked to him since the contest ended?
Yes. In fact, I went up to him and said, Bob, I don't know if the basket was good or not, and he said it was. So coming from a Scottville fan, that's good. He was disappointed, naturally, but they've got to be happy with the way they played.
Well, Roger, the Wildcats have had a little bit of difficulty here late in the season, but they've always had just enough to pull it out, and that one just barely tonight. But they've played with a little bit of intensity, especially with one spurt there in the third quarter, and it helped them come on strong, of course. But they're going to have some difficulty, I think, in the tournaments if they don't become a little more intense for a little longer time during the contest.
It just seems for some reason they go pretty well, and then they have the letdown that you mentioned, and they do work hard the whole ball game, but it just seems that things don't fall in for them very well. They did have that one spurt. I'm telling you, Eric Webb, on one particular move, I know you know which one I'm talking about, down under the basket in the second half was just phenomenal. Eric drove the center very well tonight and got some good buckets. But they play hard, but all year long they've had trouble, I think, putting the ball in the basket consistently, and that's hurt them.
Well, they were a little under their scoring average for the season. 63-61 was the final score. I think they're averaging 69. But it doesn't make any difference, I suppose, if you're 2 points better than your opponent on any given night.
That's right. As long as it goes up as a W in the column, that's all that counts. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 100. I know that's a sports cliche, but it's really true. And, we talk about the districts and everything, but this was an important win tonight for our conference. We've got one more conference game against Ravenna. We're tied with Whitehall, and if we lose tonight, it's a good chance that Whitehall would be the conference winner by themselves. Now we got to concentrate in Ravenna and hope we can beat them and be WMC champs, which, Larry, would be the 3rd time in a row. And you can look around the flags in the gym, and we haven't had 3 in a row. So this will be great if we can do it.
The third consecutive championship in a row, but who's counting, right?
That's right. We don't pay attention to that here. And, of course, our basketball program for the past 4 years, it started with Vern Hill when Vern was a coach. I think Vern's last year we were 14-6 during the regular season with a lot of sophomores and juniors on the team. And then Jim came in and carried on what Vern had started. And, you know, it's just been a great 4-year run here and a lot of fun for everybody.
Well, Roger, I noticed that you're a true blue Wildcat fan tonight with a new MHS sweatshirt on. I think that's one that the Student Senate had for sale a while ago, and we're glad to see you out here wearing it, rooting the Wildcats on to victory. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
You bet, and I'll get a couple of ball players over here. I see Doug Schloff waiting in the wings, so I'll send him over. Are you going to be able to ad-lib here for a minute and a half before I get him? I'm sure you
I'm usually lost for words, Mr. Finland, so
okay.
We'll see what we can do, though. You bet. Well, gentlemen in the booth upstairs, I think we're going to try and get a couple of the Wildcat players over here. Here comes Doug Schloff right now. Junior Doug Schloff, among the leading scorers all season long. Congratulations, Doug. Excellent game again. Doug, what did it seem like when you were having a little bit of difficulty late in the contest there? It was a real close game, 61 all, and you had the winning basket, an excellent position and good tip. What was your feeling as you were going into the last, let's say, minute of the contest, having been under so much pressure?
Well, we were up by 3 points, and we wanted to get a good shot, but also on the defensive end, we didn't want to let Bialchowski get a three-pointer because he's leading the league in three-point shots. And right at the end, he hit a three-pointer and tied it up. And then we just had to run the offense, the high stack, and get the last shot of the game. That's what Mr. Tate wanted, and we got 3 chances at it.
Well, Doug, we mentioned in the booth that it was one of the things that you wanted to concentrate on was ball handling late in the game, and it was good that you and Eric could do so well at that. Did Coach Tate say anything to you about who he wanted to have the ball in the hands of during the last part of the contest?
Well, Eric's our best ball handler, of course, and he wants Eric to have the ball, and he wanted me and Eric and Scott up handling the ball with Matt Cotter and Rob Smith down low and have them coming up and getting the ball if we get in trouble. So he just wanted us 3 up there at the time.
Okay, well, Doug, as we look to the end of the season now, you have 1 league contest remaining, that with Ravenna, and we know Ravenna's across the river tonight in Whitehall. You have Holton here at home next Tuesday night, but you have 1 more league game, and what do you, as a junior now, looking through the 3rd consecutive championship possibility here in the West Michigan Conference? Yours is only the 2nd, I believe, but I think we just went off the air, Doug. Am I still on the air up there? Well, I thought I went off. I can't hear me down here for whatever reason, but your 3rd consecutive conference championship is at hand. Only Ravenna stands in your way, Doug. And what is the team thinking about at this point in time?
Well, Ravenna has been real tough. They took Whitehall into overtime, and they took Oak Ridge into double overtime. And they beat Mason County by 10 or 12 or something like that. So they're real tough, and they've got a big guy, Carl Ketchum, that we got to stop.
I think Ketchum's the leading scorer in the league. We're being joined over here. I got snuck up on that time by Kevin Bushberger. Good game, Kevin, as usual. And I'm getting a signal here from the booth, and I really don't know what I want.
Hold your speaker lower.
Hold it a little lower, they're telling me. Okay, is that better, gentlemen? Okay. It was too sensitive up there. Well, I don't mean to turn my back on you, Doug, but let's talk to Kevin Bushberger here again. Kevin, senior year, 3rd conference championship coming up, 2nd for you as a member of the varsity. Congratulations, another good game. You have an important role to play, and I know you've said you enjoy coming off the bench, and you did an excellent job again tonight in that role.
Well, thanks for that. It feels good to be going for the championship again. It's really fun. I like playing under Mr. Tate and coming off the bench, like you said. It's really fun.
Kevin, you've had several excellent contests for us throughout the season, of course, and we play Holton home next Tuesday night. I recall over at Holton, you, I think, you were high point perhaps. I think you had 18 points in that contest. So do you think you have better luck against Holton than some other teams, or were you just on that night?
Well, I wasn't feeling the greatest. I was sort of sick that day, and I was just at the right spot at the right time and just fell in and felt good.
Gentlemen, can you give me a little clue about, here we are late in the season, what do you think has been the secret of the overall Wildcat success throughout the year? We have just 2 games to go, and we're 16-2 now. You can hardly top that in any season. What makes the Wildcats such a good team?
well, we play as a team. We don't have an individual. Ravenna's got a really big guy that they go to. We don't have one, and we play as a team, and we play good team defense. We help out a lot, and we just play really well as a team.
Kevin, would you go along with that analysis?
Oh yeah. Great defense, great teamwork. It's a great team.
Really good comments. Three ingredients go together, blending well to make an excellent group. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to let you go take your showers. We appreciate you taking a minute to come on the air with us. Congratulations again on another fine victory for the Wildcats. See you again. Is Coach Tate around here? Coach Tate. Coach Tate, are we going to be able to get you on the air? Can we get you on the air, you suppose?
If I can talk, yeah.
Congratulations, Coach Tate. You made it exciting for everybody, but it came out the same. We commented several times that perhaps that was about the most you've been pushed that late in the contest all season long, except for the defeats, the two defeats that the Wildcats have had.
Yeah, I agree. We led 61-54, and with less than 2 minutes to go, and the last thing we talked about in the last time out was don't let Balahowski shoot a three, and we let him shoot a three, and it was a tough one, but he made it. There were a lot of things that I wish we would have done better, especially our inside defense, but when push got to shove in the last 27 seconds, our kids did exactly what they were supposed to do. We had people in the right positions. We took the first shot at the right time, which gave us a chance at a tip, and then we even got a second tip in, the basket count. So when it got right down to doing it at the end, our kids did exactly what they've been drilled in practice to do, and it worked out for us. It could just as easily have gone overtime, but if it had, we had the last shot and had a chance to win it, and that's what you like to have when you're coaching anyway.
Could you give us just a little hint about what the discussion was at the table? Both Coach Shriver and you, of course, were interested in the outcome, obviously, but we couldn't, of course, hear what was going on there. Can you give us a hint?
Yeah, the outside official right in front of us signaled the basket was good. So I was kind of celebrating with the kids, and then all of a sudden I saw the under official run out, and he's going like this. So as we're walking to the table, the under official says, I have to check with the table. And Kent, who was the outside official, says, well, I was just signaling that the basket went in. So then we checked at the table, and Art Keel, who is the best, and I'm not saying that because of what happened tonight. He is, when I was at Shelby, he was the best scorer I've ever seen. You can look at the book. He's got anything and everything you need to know in there. If Art had told me that basket was no good, I'd have turned right around, sat down, we'd play overtime. But Art counts down the last 5 seconds of the game in that situation to Ken. He watches the clock and counts it down. Ken watches the play to click off the clock at the appropriate time in case there's still a whistle or something. And both of them were convinced that the basket was good. So that's the only thing they could go by at the table. The officials checked, the table said it was good, and they counted the basket.
Obviously, Coach Shriver is disappointed, but he has to be happy with the way his team came down here and really challenged you all season or all night long. And as their season concludes, getting ready for March Madness, he has to be kind of pleased with the late season showing that he's had.
Yeah, he told me after the game that it was the best his kids have played all year, and by far the best they've played all year. And I would agree with him. We played them up there in a tough game, 66-61, and we don't match up well with them. They've always got one more big guy than we do. And they have some great quickness at guard, and they didn't make a whole lot of turnovers. They did a real nice job, and we shot in the low 40s tonight. We had some good shots that wouldn't go in the basket, but I thought Scottville played a terrific game, and they confused our guards a little bit with mixing up the zone and the man-to-man, and we haven't really seen that too much this year. I don't think that'll bother our team next year when we've got another year's experience, but it bothered us some tonight. We had a lot of trouble finding our rhythm on offense, but when we can take a team that's as talented as Scottville, we can take their best shot and still come out of there with a win and not play a super game, then I think that says a lot for our kids. And the thing I'm proudest of is in the last 27 seconds, our kids executed the play perfectly. I thought Matt Cotter's shot was going in the basket. I thought Scott's tip had a chance to go, and Doug was right where he was supposed to be. We had both sides of the board covered and gave ourselves a chance for a couple of tips. So our kids put themselves in a position to win, and I know Scottville feels like they deserve to win, but as long as we are in a position to win the ball game at the end and do the right things, we're going to win more than our share.
Jim, we know that tomorrow morning, this is Sunday night now, tomorrow morning you're going to know who you play in the tournaments. There are 5 teams. Somebody's going to get a bye. How do you feel about the bye in the first round versus having a contest itself?
I want to play anybody on Monday night. I had never been in a bye situation in all the years I've coached anything until I came to Montague, and we've had a bye the last 2 years, and I hate it. I just hate it. The kids sit around, and the tournament it's like a brand new season, and everybody's a little bit on edge. And if we played Saturday, I'd want to play Monday. I want to get right back at it and play and get in there, and I want to play the good teams right off the bat. And if they beat us, then they beat us, and if we win, it'll be because we deserve to win. But I don't want to draw any byes. But there's 5 teams and 3 are going to draw byes, so we'll probably. I would not really particularly like to go up and play Mason County the first night, but that's probably the way it'll work out, though.
Well, let's look up at the booth there. I bet there's a Mr. Jeff Peterson in the booth who is now putting the earphones on. You have a question for Mr. Tate up there from Jeff Peterson?
Well, I do. As you enter the tournament, how do you assess your team's play? I mean, as the season's gone along, have we gotten much stronger? We tend to kind of level off? Or?
Okay, the question is, as we've gone along and we approach the tournament, how have we gone along? Have we progressed? Have we leveled off? What do you see in that respect, Jim?
I think tonight was not indicative of our performance recently. I think we've been playing better and better on offense. Our shot selection's been better. In our last 4 games, and I'm not sure about this one, this will probably put us below 50%, but we're right around the 50% level. We've made a move in Doug Schloff back inside that's helped our offensive rebounding and our defensive rebounding. So offensively, I think we're continuing to get a little bit better. Defensively, the thing we're going to find is that Mason County was very well prepared for our pressure tonight, and the 3rd time that they played us tough twice. They're going to be filled with confidence. Shelby gives us the same kind of problems with big interior people and good guards on the outside. That's part of the reason why defeating somebody 3 times is awfully tough. Plus, I just told our kids in the locker room, when you pull on that Montague shirt, our opponents are 15 points better than they play anybody else because of the success we've had recently. And the district tournament, now teams, no matter what their record was, they're discovering another reason to play well, and they're going after us, and it's going to be really difficult. But I'll tell you, right now there's one game and I don't do this very often, but I'm thinking about at Ravenna next week. These kids have worked so hard and have done above and beyond for me all year that I want them to get something out of this season. I want them to win something, and if we take if we end up winning the conference, that'd be terrific. I'll worry about that a long time before I worry about going into the tournament.
Okay, I think we have one more question from up above.
All right, one more question, Jim. Have you seen a much better play than Eric did on the spin move inside?
Okay, the question was, have you seen much better a play than Eric made on the spin move on the inside as he went down the lane?
Eric's an amazing athlete, and Eric felt bad that he missed a couple of free throws at the end, but some things I remember when we were down 3 in the 4th quarter, the spinning layup and the tough shots inside. He's an incredible jumper, and he made an awful lot of big plays tonight. And win, lose, or draw, I'll go down with kids like Eric Webb every time. He cares a lot about what he's doing. He's committed to his teammates, and I think there was one better play, and Eric Webb made it, and that was a play earlier this year when he made 3 of the most athletic moves I've ever seen, tipped the ball to somebody, fell down, hit his head, and was right back up on defense the next time down the floor. He's a tremendously explosive, quick player, and he's unbelievable. And the best thing is he's a junior.
You like that really well.
I like that.
Well, I think we're going to close off, Coach Tate, but good luck as you go with Holton next Tuesday and on into the concluding of the regular season and into the tournaments. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, fans, that about wraps it up here tonight from the floor of Montague High School, as we just remind you once again that the final score was Montague 63, Mason County Central 61. Good night.